Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it has just finished at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal nil, Sporting Club de Portugal nil. Aggregate score: Arsenal 1, Sporting Club de Portugal nil, and therefore Arsenal progressed to the UEFA Champions League semi-final. Oh man, that was a tough watch. It was a better performance. Don't get me wrong. I think I didn't actually. I mean, there was a lot of people. I was going through watching people's reactions and reading people's comments today, and I saw a lot of people saying they want a performance. They want sort of like a statement performance, like a 3-0 win or something like that. And I was like, that's not going to happen. I was thinking that's not going to happen. That's not the way we've been playing, and we've been playing so poorly recently that I think the only thing that would be seen as a positive is that we get through, regardless of how we get through. Um, I did feel like where I was watching it here in the UK on TNT Sports, I did feel like they were being very sort of like snooty towards Arsenal and saying, "Oh, we stunk the place out" and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, they're not playing well and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, yeah, we're not playing well, but I think this was a much more improved performance than Bournemouth. We played a lot better in this game than we did against Bournemouth, especially defensively, which is why I've got uh, who is it? Why I've got Saliba and Mosquera as the picture, because they were essentially, along with Nkapie and Gabriel, they were essentially what got us through tonight. There were moments where Sporting Lisbon looked very dangerous going forward, but they didn't really test David Raya. If anything, the most that happened was there was a poor throw out from David Raya that nearly cost him. And then I don't think this was him, but something else happened in the first half where we gave the ball away in a stupid area, and it was just a bad pass from Trincao that made that luckily we weren't punished for. They did hit the post in the first half as well. They had a few shots here and there, but they never had anything that was like, apart from when they hit the post, they didn't really have anything. We also hit the post for a Trossard header. Another injury to Noni Madueke. Dalman came on for him. I think this call for Dalman to start is probably a bit premature. I think he looks like a talented kid, but I just don't think we should be calling for him to start right now. If people, and I know there will be people out there down at the Emirates that will be saying that he should start on Sunday against City, and I'm like, no. The only way he starts against City is if Madueke can't play. And I actually thought Madueke had a decent game today. I don't think he was amazing, but I thought he was okay. I think the midfield in general was okay. Props to Declan Rice, man. He came out on TNT Sports, and some of the things he was saying, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what you should be saying. Fuck the noise. We've just got to get on with it. I heard watching one of Harry Symeou's videos a long time ago that Declan Rice watches his stuff, and it sounded like a lot of what Declan Rice was saying was what Harry said. So maybe he was watching his videos before the game, I don't know, or during the day today. But yeah, the most important thing is that we're through. I said I wanted to see a performance, and that was kind of what I was looking for. I just didn't want to see us let the game get away from us, and then we just, capitulate and concede late and all that sort of stuff. And we managed the game, which we haven't been doing quite a lot for a while, especially when we've gone behind. We haven't been managing games very well. And I'm glad at least that we've got through. It's Atletico Madrid that we play next, who knocked out Barcelona yesterday, despite Barcelona winning their second leg 2-1 at the Metropolitano, I think it's called, the Atleti Stadium. Yeah, so all in all, not too bad, but there's still question marks. We were not great. We were very blunt going forward. Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Madueke started. As I said, I don't think Madueke had a bad game. He just wasn't It's the same with Martinelli, really. They attack the lines very well, but they don't really have much end product at the moment. And yeah, Gyökeres was completely frozen out of the game today. So yeah, when the substitutes came on, which was what was it? So we had Havertz for Gyökeres, Dalman for Madueke because Madueke went off injured, Trossard for Martinelli, and Jesus for Eze. And they were basically, I would actually go as far as to say that they actually were the catalyst that sort of like got us over the line. Like Gabriel Jesus, as much as he's been criticized lately, he was actually really good with his hold up play and stuff like that, and making it difficult for Sporting to wrestle the ball and that sort of stuff. He did pretty well. Havertz did all right. You know, they were decent. I'd say it was a sort of meh performance from the attacking players, because obviously we didn't score, but we did enough. We did, it's job done. Essentially, we're in the semi-finals. At least all of those people that were hoping we were going to lose tonight because they've got their wish to start shouting Arteta out, or the rival fans that want to laugh at us. At least that's not happened yet. Semi-finals, I'm not sure. I think this is semi-finals is probably where our campaign in the Champions League ends. But the reason why I say it's it's a negative, this bluntness in attack, which has been a problem all season, really, or most of the season, is obviously we've got City on Sunday, and you know City look like they're absolutely purring. They're like a locomotive at the moment. It's like they've all been injected with like what's it called in the boys? The chemical. I know it's V. I think it's Combine V or something like that. Yeah, Compound V. Yeah, it's like they've all of a sudden been injected with Compound V, and now they've just got superpowers. Yeah, so it's going to be tough. I don't really think we've got any chance. And when I come to do my preview in a couple of days' time, no, what's today? Wednesday. Yeah, when I do my preview, yeah, it will be a couple of days because it will probably come out on Friday. I will probably say words to that effect that I don't think we have much of a chance. We have a fool's hope of winning this game. But I'm not going to sit here and say that it defines the season. I think it's going to make our jobs a lot harder if we lose this game, or when we lose this game. But I wouldn't say the league's over until it's over. If we, for example, lost to City and then lost to Newcastle, and City won their next game, then I'd be worried. Then I'd be like, oh shit, here we go. Because they also have the game in hand. I think they actually have 2 games in hand now. Because their FA Cup semi-final against is it Southampton? Yeah, it is Southampton. Hang on. I'm pretty sure I saw it was on the 25th. Yeah, 25th of April. So that means it's been their game has been moved to the 4th of May. I think. And it doesn't look like we still know when the Crystal Palace game is. Gonna have to go on their actual website. For fuck's sake. Yeah, it still hasn't been put in yet. But yeah, so at least and so technically, yeah, they do have 2 games in hand on us because they've got the Everton game that's been rescheduled because of their FA Cup semi-final against Southampton, and then they've got the Crystal Palace game that will probably be put in a week before the end of the season because now they're out of the Champions League. It will probably be in that final couple of weeks. But that's the big one. You know, this was big just for a momentum and a bit of a morale boost. And yes, it wasn't the result we were all hoping for, but at least we got through. So it kind of gives a little bit of a feel good factor that yes, we've got through to the semi-finals. At least the doom and gloom hasn't been added to, so to speak. But yeah, like we're looking. This Man City game is massive. It is probably the biggest game of the season. I just can't see where we're going to get a win from. We're so blunt in attack at the moment. I just can't see where we're going to get a win from. And I'm also pretty certain that Arteta's going to go there for a draw. Now, if we did get a draw, that would be amazing because I'd take a draw now. But I think we have to win. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I actually agree with Gary Neville. I was watching his podcast on Sunday after the City game against Chelsea, and he said, I've always maintained that Arsenal need to go to the Etihad and win. And I agree. I think back to 2002 when, in 2001, when Man United basically won the league in October and we were nowhere to be seen. They were on fire, and we had to go to, and in 2002, when we won the league in 2002, we had to go there and win. And we did through Sylvain Wiltord. I watched that game live, actually, not at Old Trafford on TV. But yeah, that is basically what we need to do. We need to do something similar to that. We need to manifest that night in. I think it was actually if I remember rightly, I think it was a May. I don't think it was in April. Man United, Arsenal, 2002. Yeah, 8th of May. I think it was 3 games until the end of the season. It was like the third to last game at the end of the season, and yeah, we needed to go there and win, and we did, and that's why I agree with what Gary Neville's saying, because in these sort of races where you've let your rivals back in, and a rival like Man City, you need to go. No, you're not overtaking us. You're going to have to work, and if you are, you're going to have to work bloody hard for it. But yeah, if we got a draw though, which again I don't think we will, I think that wouldn't be the end of the world, because at least that means we would have won. We would have what's the word I'm looking for? We would have not won the. It would stand us in good stead going forward. And speaking to someone else at my job today, that's a Arsenal fan as well, and he reckons that the 3 games after Man City, regardless of the result, are the most important. And I was thinking about that on the drive home. I was thinking, is that true? And I was like, well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the whole this is a title decider thing is very much media hype, because there's still 5 games to go after that. But yeah, maybe. Let's see what happens. I'm not, even though I'm happy we got through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, it means now that those two games against Atleti, let me pronounce it correctly, Atleti, are, yeah, they're both like, how can I put this? They're at times, I think they're at time that, so I think the first leg in Madrid is after the Newcastle game, so that's not too bad. But then the second leg is like in between, if I remember rightly. I think So it's this Then after that is Fulham, and then the second leg is after Fulham before we play West Ham, who probably need to win to stay in the Premier League. So it's going to be tough, regardless. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very, very tough run-in. As I said, I don't think the Man City result necessarily defines it. I think when I say defines it, I mean, I don't think it means that if City beat us, they win the league. I just think if they beat us, it become the hard. So put it this way: we lose to Bournemouth. If before Bournemouth, it's like if we beat Bournemouth, we get another easy point. In other words, like it becomes slightly easier or slightly less pressured to go on and do it. In reality, we lose to Bournemouth, so therefore it becomes harder. I think if we lose to Man City, which I think we will do, it's gonna get even harder. And then it's just about how we react from whatever that result is. But on the bright side, or not the bright side, but on the flip side, and on the my my head is telling me we're going to lose this game. My heart thinks we can probably get a result. And if I go with my heart, it might be the other way, where we get a draw or we nick a 1-0 win or something like that. And then the easier path gets a bit lighter again. And I'm not saying that like the last 5 games of the season are going to be easy, but it means that at least the advantage is with us. We don't have to keep looking at City's results to see what they're doing. But anyway, overall, pleased that we've managed to get through. There were positives about this performance, although there were negatives, particularly in the attack, as usual. I'm not going to go over it because I think everyone and their dog has gone over it. So yeah, we move. Let's see what happens on Sunday. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back again in a couple of days' time with a preview for Man City. Until then, take care and stay safe. Try not to get too scared.
Remember to like and subscribe, and also follow Dan on social media. All the information is in the description below.